Hello theater addicts, my name is Vanessa Marshall and I am about to go in to see Rabbit Hole tonight at the Culture Lab. I know a little bit about this show because it was made into a movie starring Nicole Kidman, which I didn't see, but I did read about, so I know a little bit about it. I think it's going to be a serious piece, but I'm looking forward to it, so see you afterwards. Hello theater addicts, my name is Vanessa Marshall and I'm back having just seen Rabbit Hole by Frolicking Divas as part of the dramatic work series at the Culture Lab here at the Culture Theatre. This is quite a long show, so I would warn you about that. It's 95 minutes, but you don't feel like any time is wasted. You don't feel like any scene should be cut. Every scene feels important and worthwhile, and so it makes sense that it's that long. It just has a lot to say and a lot to talk about. Rabbit Hole is a serious show. It's definitely belongs as part of the dramatic work series. It's definitely a drama. It is a show about a couple dealing with the loss of their son, who was a child when he passed away. He died as a result of an accident, and this play is sort of about how that event has shaped the lives and affected the family, the couple themselves, the parents of this kid, as well as the extended family in terms of the mother's mother, so the grandmother of the child who died, as well as the mother's sister, who are also big characters in the show. You also hear a little bit about how some of the friends of the family have been affected by it, and you also get to meet the individual who accidentally caused the death of the child. So it's a really interesting dynamic piece in talking about the sort of different experiences and perspectives and the echo effect on these different people by this really tragic series of events. One of the things that I was really surprised about this show is that it actually is laced with quite a lot of humor. It's way funnier than I thought it would be. There are a lot of really funny moments. Some of it is dark humor, which I personally like, but a lot of it is really just sort of about human beings being human beings and how funny that can be even when dealing with really difficult circumstances. There are a few moments where adult language is used, if that bothers you. But it's a serious topic and it's adults dealing with a really difficult situation, and so I think it's understandable and reasonable that language would be a part of that. I think that's really normal. There's a slight bit of yelling, but other than that, it's pretty much a dramatic show with all that comes with that. It's written by David Lindsay Abaire, who is a really excellent playwright. This play is really thorough and heartfelt and smart, and like I said, quite funny, which is really surprising. The cast was really, really great across the board. There's nobody to particularly point out as particularly good or particularly bad because they're all really strong. If I was to pick out one person, it would probably be Braden Locke as Jason Willett. His performance is really emotional and touching, and also weird and funny and awkward, and so he really does all of that in a really nuanced, interesting way. The costumes were really good. The music was good. You really felt like you were in the 80s, or maybe it was the 90s with, a VHS player and stuff like that. My only real criticism would be that the sets weren't great, but it's always tricky in Fringe, and so you don't want to sort of be too harsh on the sets because they have such a short timeline. But the couch was particularly obvious as not being a couch. The only other criticism I would say is that the two sisters have different accents, which I found really distracting, at least in the first hour before I sort of got used to it. But the performances are so good that it's easy to look past that. It is a beautiful show. It is a touching show. It has a really Lovely, heartfelt ending. I was really worried that it was going to have a very dark ending. That was certainly my impression for whatever reason from the Nicole Kidman movie, but it doesn't. It has a really beautiful ending. So if you're worried about that, don't be. It ends on a really lovely note. And yeah, it's a really touching piece. Lots of people in the audience were crying. Lots of people in the audience, everybody was laughing. It's a real mixed bag for a really great, well-rounded human experience. So those are my thoughts on Rabbit Hole by Frolicking Divas as part of the Dramatic Work Series in the Culture Lab at the Culture Theatre as part of the 2018 Vancouver Fringe Festival. If you have any comments you want to say, please post below the video. Also, please sign up to Theatre Addict's YouTube page and follow us for all the upcoming reviews we've got with regards to Fringe Fest. Thanks very much.